Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, today we're going to do a comparison between the Galaxy Tab S2 and the Galaxy Tab S. Now, as many of you know, the Tab S was my main tablet for the past year. It's one that I used on a daily basis, and it's one I preferred over every single tablet on the market. However, is it really an upgrade with the Tab S2? Well, that's been my debate for a couple of weeks now, and I feel like I'm finally ready to answer that. Uh, so first of all, with the Tab S2, it is a lighter, thinner tablet that feels more premium. Definitely the body feels, just the way it holds feels more premium, and the metal frame around it definitely feels more premium. Compared to the Tab S2, which didn't bother me. It had a good grip always, but just nothing too fancy you could say about it. So that's the main thing, is that it was never as fancy in terms of how it was. Now, between these two, I would say this, that really the screens are going to be really around the same style. The both have LED screens. However, with the Tab S2, it definitely has the better camera. So when I compared the camera quality between these two, it really just stood out in comparison to them. So when we looked at the camera quality, it definitely just looks a heck of a lot better, especially in shots where it can control things that the older Tab S can't. However, when it comes to selfies, more similar between the two. Now the Tab S2, I would say, still say handles light better in comparison, but both are pretty overall good quality. Now, the biggest difference would easily be that the Tab S2 comes with full Microsoft Office completely free. And although you can download Microsoft Office on the Tab S, it is not the full version. You have to have 365 in order to actually use it, create and edit, as it comes free standard on the Tab S2. I've been told this is because of the 10-inch version. So as long as it's below 10 inches, Microsoft will allow companies like Samsung to completely use Microsoft Office for free. Whereas on the Tab S2, it's 10.5, so it cannot by default. Now, in terms of, you do have Handcom Office, but there is just no substitution for full Microsoft Office. So for that reason, definitely that's a huge upgrade on the Tab S2. However, the aspect ratio really isn't an upgrade in my opinion. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, as you can see, they're placed differently. This one's placed in landscape, and this one's placed in portrait. And that's because a 4:3 ratio tablet is meant to be always displayed like this. The problem is that apps don't display properly on 4:3 ratio tablets. So even if we go to the Play Store and open it up, we can see that it just looks a lot more squished in and kind of bigger in comparison to the regular app. This is a Play Store. This isn't even a main app that you're going to download a third-party app that hasn't thought of this. This is the Play Store itself. It just doesn't look good. So that's a big problem with 4:3 tablets compared to a 16:9 tablets. This is what Android is made for. This is not. The other problem you're going to have with that is when you go to watch a movie, it's going to look a lot better on this screen for the simple fact of that you have the ability to actually see the full screen size. And this is where the Tab S is not an upgrade at all. The fact that it cannot display a video properly. And, this is something that Apple users are used to, but we're not used to on Android. We don't like black bars. We are media consumers, which means we want a proper size for that. Now, I have had people say they prefer this style over it, but I think not owning it and saying that is a difference between owning it and having it for a period of time and then saying, oh, well, actually, I may not prefer that. Another feature is you do have an IR blaster built in on the Tab S, whereas you do not on the Tab S2. Now, both have great battery life. I have never had a complaint on the Tab S's battery life, and the Tab S2 has been perfect as every time I've used it. So I cannot have, even though it is a decrease in battery size, I would not say that it's a lower quality in terms of battery. Likewise, the Tab S2 does upgrade the minimum built-in storage, whereas the Tab S you can only get in 16 and 32. The Tab S2 you can get in 32 and 64. So you get more storage for your money on the Tab S2. Now, if you were to buy one right now, would I recommend the Tab S2? Well, I would recommend it for simply this purpose. It's an upgrade for you, or for the purpose if you had to buy one right now for $100 more. If you wanted Microsoft Office, then you should get this tablet. However, if you're more into gaming and media consumption and the $100 cheaper price point, the Tab S would be the better one to buy, actually. Now, overall, the software has changed slightly year over year, but not as much. And as long as you're not having to take photos with the rear camera, the selfie camera is good quality on both, although again, this would be slightly better in terms of color reproduction. So overall, is the Tab S2 an upgrade from the Tab S? Well, yes and no, really. And that's just because it fell flat on a lot of features that it should have improved on. The speed isn't that really much of a difference. Not to say the Tab S hasn't gone smoothly over the past years. I mean, it's really moved well. There hasn't been a slowdown or lag on it. The Tab S2 doesn't have one either, though, so it goes very well in this day and age. But it just wasn't as big of an upgrade as I would expect for a full year to have, especially from a company like Samsung, where I think we just expect more from the tablets. Again, if you're going for full Microsoft Office on an Android tablet, the Tab S2 is the best you can get. However, if you just want a overall great media tablet and you can deal with something like Handcom Office, then you're better off going with the Tab S. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did like it, please give a like, thumbs up down below. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.